Young chickens are a good lunch, but a good fat laying hen makes a meal for the whole family. Unfortunately, the neighbors around here have gotten lazy. They buy their chicken at the grocery store. I have not yet gotten my food stamps for a month, so maybe my Christmas dinner will be a little short. I really believe that I will have to see the township supervisor for a relief order. I hate to do this, my pride, you know. In better times, I was able to support my family in the manner that my father taught me. And then there's that trouble with the landlord. He says that I am breaking the conditions of my rental agreement because my brother and his family have moved in with us. Well, what else was there for us to do but to take them in? When that bulldozer devastated their home, making that stock pond, they had nowhere else to go. He tried to sue, but the courts held that he had no written lease, so the owner of the property should move the dirt around on it any way he chose. So when the outlet of the pond came, where Bob's home was, they just disregarded his home. Say, maybe we overlooked something. We might try the Federal Agency for Flood Control. Anyway, I am going to hunt up that Legal Aid Society and see what they can do for me. I don't want to be dispossessed right in the middle of the winter. Sometimes the fox hunters get their hounds after me. Usually they don't even get close. As I run along in the night, I sing a little song. Do you know this song?
No.
Oh, well, let's see. I don't do very well a cappella, and I don't know if I remember it all. It's something like this. The little fox ran through the corn, pursued by the barking dog. By leaps and bounds he lost those hounds and jumped in a hollow log. Yeah, 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 said the little fox. Yeah, yeah, you can't catch me. Yeah, 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 said the little fox, singing merrily. Respectfully submitted, I am a fox.
That's what I want. It's musical. It has a song.
I love it's got a song. I know.
Okay, so we're at the Sportsman Grill and Lodge. It's a theme restaurant, kind of after the WPA lodges that are grand in all the national and state parks. And later on you can get some footage of that. And so I'm here with I refer to you as my shirt-tail cousin.
But I'm not really.
Are you second cousin?
Yeah, because is it let's be removed? I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah,
but
Diane went through that with me once, but she has to know all the legal things because of the lawyer thing.
Yeah. So your dad and my mom were first cousins.
Okay.
So we have the same great grandfather.
Okay, very good. So there we go. That's how we're related. And of course, we all know that Susie came to Nashville and it was a sudden overnight success. Right?
Yeah, in about 10 years.
It's 10 years in the making. Very good. So when we're in Music City, so this is very appropriate that we have one of Music City's own.
And we're finally meeting
Exactly.
after all this time,
All these
and it's
years.
ridiculous that
That's right.
coming to this. I mean, because we've been aware of each other's families all these years, but kind of spread out over the country.
And so our connection really was through my father and her mother. My father, Erwin Thompson, and her mother,
Barbara Bogus.
And so I asked my father to say more specifically about, there was this music session that he played with her mother at the Thompson 1938 family reunion. And he was playing banjo mandolin that he had bought in a pawn shop in 1935.
Wow.
And he didn't quite know, he just took it along just in case. And so then he played with your mother Barbara and then her sister Laverne.
Right.
And so even to this day, he still remembers that one of these shining moments, one of these shining music sessions where they got together and they sang pretty good. He said that one of the songs they played was "It's a Sin to Tell a Lie."
Oh yeah, my mom still sings that song.
It's one of my mother's favorite songs. We used to serenade. And at that time, in 1938, it was a new song, so everybody was.
Wow.
So isn't it kind of thrilling to think about? See, we just think, oh, those old songs, but just think they were young.
Exactly.
They were young, and these new songs would come out,
and they would come out on the radio or they'd play them on a phonograph record, and everybody would gather around, and this is how they learned the music, this is how they disseminated the music.
Yeah, I think that's so amazing to me. And there needs to be more of that, back to that sharing kind of situation in my mind.
Now you're doing, tell us a little bit about your folk music project.
Well, I'm doing a folk project right now, and the thing that's so awesome is that I can get a hold of Cousin Erwin because he has all this background and these many, many years of you guys all sitting around on Sunday afternoons and sort of a pick and parlor kind of atmosphere, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do with my songbook and my record, is try to capture that feeling and share these songs that I grew up with in school and stuff, and carry them on. But, it's like that's sort of our responsibility to carry on these American folk songs.
And
I'm so glad to have you guys
yes,
to,
exactly.
sort of, play off of, because
Yeah.
he sent me a beautiful list of songs that were some of his favorites, and I guess probably sort of a lead sheet from some of you guys' gatherings.
Exactly. Well, what I really asked him to do when I saw the list that you had sent, I said, well, that's good, but those are songs that you see all the time. And so my father's always really concerned about preserving the music from his youth, and there's many songs he'll play and say, I haven't ever heard anybody else play it, that song's going to die. And then one of the most poignant things that he's saying now, he's saying, I cry not for my death, but the music that will die with me.
Right.
So I said, well, she's doing this project. This is the perfect time to introduce her to some songs that we haven't ever.
Special ones.
Yeah.
And that's how it all was passed on. And that's what I'm finding as I'm researching these songs, is how many verses were written by other people as they tried to extend the song for the for the dances and things like that, but also just they sort of put little bits of the history from their own regions into it.
Yeah.
It's really
Are you familiar
fascinating.
with the work of Bradley Kincaid?
I don't think so.
Ask Daddy about it.
Okay.
Because he was in touch with Bradley Kincaid. Bradley Kincaid had gone all throughout the South and up in the Appalachian region, and he was, really a musicologist who was gathering the old songs together, and had a songbook for Bradley Kincaid's songbook.
I'll look for that.
And
I'm not sure.
so then Daddy had seen some things that he thought he could correct and add, and he was then in communication with Bradley Kincaid.
Wow.
And in thanks, then Bradley Kincaid sent Daddy some songbooks.
Wow, that's cool.
So now, also, I wanted to just share some of your responses to the audiobook, Sightlines, A Family Love Story.
Oh gosh, the first thing, I'm an NPR junkie, so the only thing I could think was how fabulous that would be to have those poems and little pieces of music on NPR, and to follow along with the from the beginning of the discs all the way through the fourth. I thought that the whole storyline and everything was something that I just kept wanting to hear more of, and it was something I could really relate to at this point in my life.
Yeah.
And many of the stories hit me not necessarily from these are my relations,
Sure.
but what a special family, and how connected you have remained, and how you have taken the time to do this sort of thing, because so many of us wish that we could have special moments like that preserved in a poem or in a story or whatever, because we do pass those stories on, and they usually do still keep the family gatherings going and stuff, but you have shared that with all of us so that we can reflect on our own family stories, and it makes us think about what is special about my family.
Yeah. Yes, and you were also saying that it helped you kind of think about, where you wanted to go with your life and history.
Yeah, you get to a certain spot in your life, and you realize that soon I will be, the top rung on the ladder.
Right.
And when you get to that spot, it really it makes you start thinking about, what have I accomplished? What more do I want to accomplish? And what kind of person do I want to be here at the end of my own parents' life, as far as, how am I going to continue to live my own life and also help them to finish out theirs.
Exactly. Well, hats off to you, Sugi.
Hats off to you too.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Okay, thanks
It's a
very
great
much.
day.
All right.